Hey, what's up everybody? This is Torch and thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. This is Torch here on YouTube. I'm a producer, a drummer. I'm also the author behind the book Trap Style Drumming for the acoustic and hybrid drum set available at Hudson Music as well as my website, ThisIsTorch.com. Today I have an Ableton tutorial for you. This time I'm going to go into a bunch of key command shortcuts. I'm going to give you over 40 of these things. And this is going to help you speed up your production process and your workflow and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's jump right into Ableton. I'm going to show you these and take notes because it's going to help you in the long run. Okay, so the first command I'm going to show you is Z. So you can click on any of these clips, for example. If you just click Z, it's going to expand it horizontally. If you click it again, it's going to open it vertically so you can have a big blown up version of your waveform. If you just keep pressing that, it'll open up like that. Click on any of these, it does the same thing. Next one is Command K. What that does is it opens up your key mapping. You can see that you have a bunch of orange zones. Any of these can be mapped to a computer key on your keyboard. Just toggle the Command K to toggle that on and off. Also, Command M does similar thing, but this time for MIDI mapping, and it opens up MIDI mapping where you can see all the purple zones on your screen. All of those can be mapped to a fader or a knob on a MIDI controller. You can do Command M to open and close that. Next one is the bottom window here. I can hide it, I can open and close. Just do Option Command L and that opens and closes that. If I want a new MIDI track, I can just do Command Shift T and that gives me a new MIDI track. Okay, so if I want to create a blank MIDI clip, I have a couple options. So the first option is I can double click on the region above here, and that's going to create a MIDI clip at the length of whatever my grid is set to. In this case, I have my grid set to quarter notes. So anytime I click on a region, it's going to give me a MIDI clip at the length of a quarter note. If I want to change that, I can just right click and then change the length of each of the regions here. So now I'm on half notes. So if I click in these regions here, now I have MIDI clips that are the length of a half note. But what if I just want to highlight an entire section and just create a MIDI clip for that? Well, that's exactly what you can do. You can just highlight the whole section and then key command, you do Command Shift M and that creates a blank MIDI clip for the entire section that you highlighted. If you want to insert time, you can just highlight a section and do Command I and that inserts blank space. Okay, let's say that I want to duplicate an entire section without overwriting anything. Let's say I have this verse and I want to do that verse twice through. What I can do is just do Command Shift D. And what it does is it just duplicates the entire section with all of the included music with that section. If you want to undo anything, you can just do Command Z. If I want to get rid of an entire section, now sometimes this is necessary. Let's say you have an arrangement and you just want to do away with an entire section without disturbing anything else around it. You can just highlight a whole section and do Command Shift Delete. The whole section disappears. Next, if you want to open and close your return channels, all you have to do is Command Option R and that will open and close your return channels. If you want to expand your session horizontally, then you can just press Command and then use your scroll wheel to expand your session horizontally like this. Let's say you want to zoom in or expand a clip vertically, you can just click on any clip and then you can press Option and then use your scroll wheel to expand that vertically. Okay, so let's say that you're just creating some ideas on the fly. You don't really have, you're not like recording or anything, and you're just kind of knocking out some ideas. And you want a way to recall those ideas. Sometimes that can be useful if you come up with a good, fresh idea and maybe you forgot the notes or something. This is a good way to recall that. So let's say that I'm punching in a few notes here. I don't know, just whatever melody. And then what you can do to recall it is just do Command Shift C, and then the MIDI appears right here. So if I play that. Pretty cool. Command Shift X, that cuts time if you want to cut time out. If you want to hide your browser, you can just do Command Option B. If you want to split a clip, all you have to do is go to the section or the point at which you want to split your clip, select that section and just do Command E. And that creates the split right there. If you want to deactivate a clip, you can just select the clip and just press 0 and that deactivates it. This works with MIDI and audio. If you want to combine more than one clip into one clip, you can just select one and then Shift, select the other one, and then you just do Command J and that consolidates them. This also works both with MIDI and audio clips. If you want to select everything, you just do Command A. You can also do that within a MIDI clip like this. If you want to select all of the MIDI notes as opposed to just one at a time, you can just do Command A and it selects all of those. So that makes it easier if you want to quantize everything all at once. If you want to quantize everything all at once, Command A, and then to quantize, you can just do Command U, and that quantizes everything. If you want to toggle on or off all of your automation, then you can just press key Command A. So there's A, everything, all the automation is now hidden. If I press it again, all of my automation is now visible. If I want to solo a selected track, all I have to do is select the track and press S, and that will solo the track. If I want to expand everything by height all at once, I can press H. If I want to expand everything widthwise, then I can press W. If there's any section within my track that I want to loop, then all I have to do is select whatever section that is, either highlight a clip or highlight a section like this, and then you just do Command L, and that will create the loop section for you. If I want to change effects through the hot swapping function in Ableton, then all I have to do is click on any of the effects that I have anywhere in my session, and I can just press Q, and that creates the ability for you to hot swap or switch out different effects. If I just simply want to open and close a track, I can just select the track, press U, and open and close any track. If I want to add additional return channels, then all I have to do is Command Option T, and that will add as many as I need. If I want to rename anything, whether it's a channel or a clip, all I have to do is click on whatever I want to rename and click Command R, and then I can rename. If I do that to a clip, I can do Command R, let's call this guitar. And then if I'm done renaming that, actually what I can do is just press Tab, and that will shoot me over to my other clips. But really a faster way to do this might just actually be to double click and then shift click so that they're all highlighted, and then just come down here and then click rename there, and you can just call them all guitar at once. They're all named guitar. That's just the fastest way. That's the way that I prefer to do it. If you want to group tracks, then it's pretty easy. All you have to do is select the tracks that you want to group together and then Command G, and you're done. If you want to ungroup, let's say a group that you've created and that you've just created, obviously you can just do undo, and that will reverse that command for you. But let's say that you have a group and you worked on a bunch of stuff and a bunch of time has passed, but now you can't just undo that function, but you want to ungroup those things. You could right click and then select ungroup tracks, but you could also just click on the group itself and then just do Command Shift G, and that will ungroup those for you. If you want to do a cool reverse effect, one thing you can do is just click on whatever audio you have, make sure it's highlighted, and then just press R, and that automatically reverses that clip for you. Also, a really quick way to copy clips would just be to click on the clip, press Option, and then drag, and that's going to copy that over for you. If you want to just duplicate a bunch of these, you can just do Command D. Let's say that I want to nudge this clip left or right in steps. What I can do is just make sure that you've clicked on the clip and it's highlighted. I can press my left arrow or my right arrow buttons, then that's going to shift it either left or right. You can also just drag that with your mouse like this, and it'll snap to grid. But there are times where you want it to not be snapping to grid. So one way to do that is just to press Command, click, and then you can slide it like this and it won't snap to grid. So that means I can drop this anywhere in the space of time and it's going to drop it right there. If I want to just snap it into grid again, then I can just simply move it over or just use my arrow keys. Another kind of quick key command you can do, this is if you want to switch between your session view and your arrangement view for any reason, you can just press your tab button and that will toggle between the two different views. If I want to draw in MIDI, let's say, a key command to get my draw function up is just to press B. And then when I press B, my draw function is now enabled. So now I can go ahead and draw in whatever notes that I need to draw. If I want to use my computer keyboard to just play some simple parts and just give Ableton some MIDI, then what I can do is actually just do key command M, and that's going to turn on my computer MIDI keyboard. So now I can just use my computer keyboard and play in some simple parts if I don't have a MIDI keyboard already. Okay, let's say that we have a group, right? And we want to open and close this group. We can do this by clicking the icon up here to the left, but we can also use our plus and minus buttons to close and open as well. Just press plus to open and the minus button to close it. Okay, let's say we want to open a device from our browser, maybe a MIDI instrument or something, right? We can go to our browser here and let's just go and pick something. How about something from Native Instruments? I'll just pick, let's say, Massive. Instead of clicking and dragging, which honestly, that's what I normally do anyway, but a shortcut is that you can just press enter and then that will automatically put that into your MIDI channel. And of course that works with selecting audio plugins as well. If you like to use the follow playback function like I do, sometimes I like to zoom in and check out, the MIDI or the audio, whatever it is that I might be looking for. And sometimes I like to play it and have things follow along, especially if I'm zoomed in. Many times I'll just click the follow playback button. So the key command for that is Command Shift F, which now you can turn that on and off. Okay, so let's say that you have a MIDI instrument and your MIDI keyboard is up and running. Let's say that you want to go up or down an octave on your instrument. So you have your keys. If you want to go up, you can just press X. That takes you up an octave, up an octave. So every time you press it, it shoots up an octave. If you want to go down an octave, then you can press Z. So Z, down an octave. Z, down an octave again. And that's how you can go up or down by octaves using your computer keyboard. Okay, so that was over 40 key commands or shortcuts that I like to use in Ableton. These help me a lot in my workflow to help things move quicker and more efficiently. I hope these help you out. Let me know in the comments if they did. And I think that's it for me. So I'm going to sign off here. So this is Torch signing off. Peace.